I ain't had time, I got time now. Yeah, I'm about to shine and design now. Going coast to coast when we dine out. Put the coach on the map when we flying out. Know I gotta win when we ride out. And I ain't gotta spin when I buy now. Love, power, respect is on our mind now. If I don't tell you when, I mean right now. I ain't allergic to it. King flow through my blood when you heard the music. Yeah, and for my land, I put the dirt into it. I'm a god on this earth, I deserve to do it. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Black Carpet Podcast, where we like to introduce you to ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And today I have a very, very, very special person in here today. I'm so glad that she actually came and blessed us with her presence. I've admired this lady. I've seen some of the things that she's done. Miss Tammy Moore, how you doing today, Miss?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
Thanks
pretty
for having
good.
me.
I appreciate you for coming, for real. For the people who don't know who Tammy Moore is, please tell us, who is Tammy Moore?
I am a native of Mississippi, Vicksburg, Mississippi, born and raised, and I've been in the Waukegan area for over 30 years. And I am a child of God, and I feel like divinely led to do what I do. I'm a mom, a wife, and the most introverted extrovert ever. I'm an introvert most of the time, and an extrovert when I need to be.
Okay. You know, it's crazy because I find that to be true about a lot of people. I don't know. I think I'm kind of like that too. Like, I like being by myself, but when I'm out with people, I'm like, I've been told I'm the center of attention. I don't think so, but I'm always told that. So, okay, you say you from Vicksburg, Mississippi. What did early life for Tammy look like?
Probably just very simple. We grew up modest, poor, P-O, poor. I always say that. We didn't even have enough to have the O-R. Raised by my mom. My mom and dad got divorced, and my mom had me when she was 17. So my grandmother was influential in raising me. And I feel like we just had, now that I look back on it, the most amazing life. And, you don't really realize until you get older, all the values that were instilled in you. And so I think Vicksburg made me. So
is Vicksburg a small town in Mississippi?
It is a small town, and it's a historic Civil War town.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of people come through in and out of Vicksburg. So
siblings?
Yes, I have a brother and a sister with my mom, and I have 6 other siblings with my dad. So it's 9 of us total.
Ah, okay. Yeah. About the same.
I'm the oldest.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The oldest, yeah.
Nice.
I kicked the fatherhood and motherhood thing off of them.
Okay, so you said that. I know you said that, like, childhood. It was, like, looking back on it now, it was a great childhood. So give me one thing that you feel is like brings nostalgia to you from your childhood.
I think Sunday dinners did, because I have a big family. My mom has 8 siblings, and we all gathered at my grandmother's house for Sunday dinner. And I think the values that my grandmother instilled in me, like we always tell everybody that she never Bible thumped us, but she always gave us scripture. So, when she would spank us, she would say, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." Yep. So it's like you didn't know that you were being poured into. Right. And, like she always had a garden. Like, we always learned things that were of substance. We weren't shallow. Okay. We didn't have a lot, but we had everything, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Okay. So you say high school years. How was that?
I was awkward in high school. Nobody believes that, but I was very smart. I will say that. I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. That's one thing that I take pride in. I've never been a follower.
I think I could see that in you now, still.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've always been different. I was always weird. I loved Prince from like when I was 10 years old, and everybody thought I was crazy. My mom thought I was like possessed or something. No, but I just always marched to the beat of my own drum, and I knew early on that I was different, and so I just leaned into that. And so high school for me was good because I didn't get caught up in the crowds. I just did my own thing. So I did a lot of things. I did activities. I was a Gator girl.
That's what that was gonna be my next question.
Yeah, I was a Gator girl. I love that.
So what is a Gator girl?
A Gator girl is like a J-Set, the dancing girls at college.
Yeah.
I actually had a chance to go to school and get a scholarship to do it, but I didn't want to. I wanted to be grown real fast. So, but I mean, I just did what I did. I didn't. I was. I took my first couple of semesters of college through vocational. They have that now, but so I was always ahead of the game. And actually, when I graduated, I got an award that was the most industrious student of my class.
Really?
Because and I'm like I've always felt like I was grown before my time because my mom had 2 kids by the time I was 10, and so I learned to cook. I was already cooking at 10.
So you was helping raise your siblings.
I was a little mama.
Right.
So sometimes I feel like, did I have a childhood? But, I did. I mean, everything happened the way it was supposed to. So I cherish all those times because I really cannot say enough that me not following people is really why I'm here today.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. So I know that you stated that that you kind of did some vocational college courses while you were in high school. What college did you end up going? Did you end up going to the same college that you did
I went
the
to
vocational
Hines.
courses?
I started out in Mississippi, and then I moved to Illinois, and then I started working, and then I took some classes after and realized a few things in college. One, that I was a great writer. My husband always says I'm good with words, but that I was a great writer. And so I did not finish college, but I did go to college, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't finish college at all?
No.
So when you did go, what were you majoring in?
My first major was marketing, and then it was theology at Trinity.
Really? So how did that, what made you go for the theology?
I started out, well, I was already in the mortgage business, and I thought I wanted to go back to school, and I felt like there was nothing else that would really serve me. And I like to know the deeper meaning of things. And my first class was on the Old Testament. The first class that I took at Trinity was on the Old Testament, and I had to write about Esther. And it changed something in me because it just made me really, when I wrote about Esther, this is funny. When I wrote about Esther, I kind of did it like the housewife. I felt like Esther is like a drama soap opera. It was like the Real Housewives of Atlanta. When you really look at the story, and I realized that my interpretation of things are different, because it's like when I read the Bible, I try to dig down deep into it, and so. But I didn't finish. But I if I would go back to school, I probably would like to finish in
theology?
Religious studies. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot. I had another question for you in regards to that. Okay, you said that you were already in mortgage before you.
When I went to Trinity, I was already doing mortgages.
So when did you start doing mortgages?
I started doing mortgages in 2001.
And how did you end up getting into that?
It is a miracle. It was just God. I actually had got laid off. I had been working at this company for 7 years, and I got laid off while I was on maternity leave. And one of my friends was refinancing his house, and he didn't understand the paperwork. First of all, let me say this. I built my first house at 21. I was married before. So with my first husband, I built my first house at 21. So I knew a little bit about the mortgage process. So he had some questions about refinancing, and he didn't understand the paperwork. So he asked me, it was my husband's softball coach, and he asked me to look over the paperwork. And so I looked over the paperwork. And at this time, I had just had my son, and I was laid off. And I called the lady on the application and, just said, I'm helping him with this paperwork. And, I have some questions. And she said, how do you know to ask these questions? How did you know this? She said, come see me. And so I told her I had a small baby. She said, bring him with you. And so I went into the office, met with her, and she offered me a job on the spot.
Right there and there.
And she was the owner of the company.
Really? And what company was this?
This was CTX Mortgage. She was the first woman owner of a mortgage company in Lake County. And she had,
so it was here in
Lake County. She had groomed her son, who was our president and CEO at the time. She had groomed him and his best friend in the mortgage industry. And I was the third person that she personally trained.
And so is that company still around now?
Yep. I'm part owner of it now.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we started our own when the market crashed. So it's I started in 2001. In 2008, the mortgage market crashed.
Okay.
The company that we were working for went bankrupt. And so we didn't have jobs. So we partnered with the company called Flagstar Mortgage, And for a year, we worked for Flagstar Mortgage, and they gave us our first warehouse line. So December 1st, 2009, 14 of us got together and we started Diamond Residential.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that kind of precedes my next question was how did that get started? But that you
That's how
just
it got
explained
started,
that's how
yeah.
Diamond Residential got started.
Out of the ashes came Diamond. We probably would have never thought about doing that had the mortgage market not crashed. So me not losing my job, I probably never would have considered working in the mortgage industry, and had the mortgage market not crashed, probably never would have even thought about starting a company.
So is that the moment that you lost your job, is that when you decided, okay, like I'm gonna go full on into like mortgage lending?
I dove straight in. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, tell me one thing that kind of surprised you early on about the mortgage industry.
How uneducated people were, how intimidated they were by the mortgage process. I mean, me at 21, I think I was just, I had an aunt who was very business savvy, and she kind of walked me through the mortgage process. But a lot of people just felt like it was never possible for them. I just saw hopelessness. And I figured that I know that God put me there to restore that hope to people, because a lot of people were not necessarily couldn't buy a home, just not right now. And so I would always just guide them and tell them what they needed to do. And, Esther Lee used to always say, you can't want something more for somebody than they want it for themselves. So I would give them the information, and if they did it, they would become homeowners. And I just saw the light bulb go off that, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. So we just started to change the idea of yes, you can, instead of I'll never own a home.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with that, because I'm not gonna lie. Like before I started looking into buying a home, like that was probably one of the most, I want to say scariest, but parts of like the entire home buying process is having to deal with the mortgage, the lending process, and having to get the money and everything like that. Like just, and like you said, it's probably more so just the lack of knowledge of how the process works. Because I don't know, listening to you sometimes when you're talking on your lives and stuff like that, you kind of explain it like, I don't want to say mortgage for dummies, but like that's kind of how you break it down. And it's
that's
like,
why I do it that way.
Oh, okay, that kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, and because I realize that most of the people that come in they don't have anything to refer to. Like for me, who do I turn to? Who do I ask? Like some people are first generation home buyers, first time home buyers. Their parents never owned a home, or they have all these people telling them what they can't do, and so you start to believe that, and so you just conjure this up in your mind, that it'll never happen for you, and so I have to unpack all of that. I have to say you actually can buy a house. You just have to do these things. And the hardest thing is I will see people work towards everything else except home ownership. They'll buy a car, they'll take the 25% interest rate, they'll be dressed to the nines, be in debt up to their eyeballs, and still say, okay, I can never own a home, because you have not made it a priority.
Okay. So with that being said, I know you kind of spoke about your like why you do it. What are like the kind of borrowers that you feel like led to help?
I always say people are assigned to me. I used to, as when I first started, I used to stress out, like, I'd be worried about things, and I had to grow. You have to grow into it to know that things happen exactly the way they're supposed to. I feel like I am assigned to people that break generational curses, that are first time something, that are believe that they can't, like, or the people that need a lot of hand holding. Like some people that I do mortgages for, my team will say nobody else would have done that for them, and I'm like, and that's exactly why they came to us,
right?
Because I have elderly people that are buying the house for the first time. I have people that are challenged with technology, that I'm literally helping them with everything. And a lot of people don't have time for that, but I feel like God trusted me with them. So it's my job to get them to the finish line.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I know that we had spoke before in regards to like the classes that you teach with teens. Kind of tell me more about that.
Yes. I've been doing the financial literacy and homebuyers classes for all of my 24 years.
Really?
Yep. As soon as I started.
Why are we just now finding out about this, Tammy?
I've been doing, I do them everywhere. And the thing is I had to repair my own credit. Mm-hmm. So when I had to do it, I'm like, nobody knows that they can do this. You know, people are paying like $1,000, $2,000. And so I started doing them. I started doing homebuyers classes. I've been literally doing them for 24 years. But I started years ago at Jesus' Name doing for teens and young adults, because if you get to them before they make the mistakes, if you get to them before they go to college, if you get to them before they go get a job, they never make those mistakes. Right. Some people are going to make mistakes anyway, but they'll always remember what they were taught. And what we don't do is we don't set our children up to win. We don't, get a credit card in their name when they're 14. We don't open a savings account for them. We don't teach them. And we don't discuss finances with our kids. We just say, that's mama and daddy's business.
I agree, because that's one, and I'm guilty of it. That's one of the biggest struggles that I have. And I think it's more so, I don't know if it's a father thing or if it's like I don't want you to worry about things that I have to worry about, because those are not your problems. I have to take care of them. But you saying we should talk about this.
You should. And it is for you to take care of, but you want to, I always say you always want to know the how.
Right.
That's one of the things. Like, I don't want to just tell. It's just like the proverb. You don't teach them. If you feed them, they'll eat today. But if you teach them how to fish, they'll eat forever. Okay. So if you show them how to, this is how daddy is paying these bills, or this is my budget. You don't have to go into detail, but like when you say no to something, you have substance with it. It's like, it's not that I don't want to buy you this. I just can't right now. Right. And kids appreciate honesty, because when you give your kids everything without context, they never know the struggle. And so when they go out in the world and they don't get something, they freak out. Yeah. And so, even the richest person should show their kids how to survive. What if the money runs out, or what if you have to get a job, or you need a budget? If you have $1 million and you don't budget, it's going to be gone. So, teach them about credit and how to save when they have birthdays. I always teach in classes, when your child has a birthday and they get all that money, ask them what they're going to do with it. First thing they say was, even my grandson, he's like, I'm going to buy this. Right. We're going to save this much. It's just like now and later. The candy. Yeah. Spend some now, save some for later. So you spend some now, save some for later. And then you're teaching them right there. My grandma used to always say, spend a dime, save a dollar. Yeah. And I'm like, how you do that? Right. But then I eventually figured out, you do spend a dime, save a dollar if you put your money away. Right. And even if you need to go back and get it, that's okay. But at least you're creating a habit. So you put that money away every month, you're teaching yourself discipline. And if you go back and get it, fine, keep putting it back in there. Yeah. I think my youngest son is starting to pick up on that now. The 8-year-old, because he, believe it or not, for Christmas he wanted a bank. So it's like a little, he asked for a little ATM. It's like an ATM machine, and he wants to learn how to start saving and putting his money up. And I was like, dang, I should have started doing this with these other ones back then. Yeah, but it's still not too late. It's never too late. That's the one thing that we do. We beat ourselves up and say, well, I should have, could have. No, you should start from now. Right. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience.
So I know that you had mentioned something about putting the kids, putting credit cards in the kids' names. Yeah. Is that a case? Is that like, okay, if I have a credit card, I put them on my credit cards, and then just make them authorized users.
And it keeps you disciplined too, because your credit is their credit now. And so as long as you make the payments on time, when they go to school, all of my children, when they got ready to go to school, they all had great credit scores. Now what they do after that is up to them. Right. But you've given them a firm foundation. That's, if you think about it, that's something we didn't have. I didn't have that. No. So you're setting them up to fail. So now they never get a high interest rate. When they go to buy a car, they get a great interest rate. If they want to buy a house, they can buy a house. Right. When they go to get a job, they're going to run their credit. When they go to get insurance, their premiums are not going to be high. So all of that is money. You know, if they double your premiums on insurance, that's money you could have been putting in the bank. So that's really how you have to teach your kids. It's like credit costs you. Yeah. And it's very costly. Yeah. So, if your car payment would have been $800 and it's now $1,200, that's $400 a month you could have saved and earned 4% interest on.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm learning now, because when I when I was their age, I went and got a student loan.
Yep.
Sally Mae is still killing me right now. Like,
And I'm glad, and you're right. Even with student loans, now you set them up that if they get a student loan, their rate is lower.
right.
Because the rate is based on your credit score, and you don't have to co-sign for them because you didn't set them up now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, kind of piggyback a little bit. Like the lending process. What part of the lending process to you is usually the most misunderstood part of the process?
People think we're getting all in their business. We are.
Okay.
They do.
Explain.
I mean, okay.
Like, break it down a little bit.
All right, think about it. If you came to me and said, no, if I came to you and I said, Latarius, give me $200,000, what are you gonna say?
For what?
Okay, and what else?
How am I gonna get it?
When I'm gonna get it back, right?
Right.
That's all we're asking. We're asking the same questions. We're asking, what are you gonna do with the money, and when are we if we're gonna be able to get it back? So one, we got to look at your assets. We got to make sure that you have, has some type of savings pattern, or, we're going to look at your credit, because chances are, if you're not paying everybody else, are you going to pay me?
Pay us,
right. But a lot of people think too that the process is difficult. It really is not. If you don't have an experienced loan officer, it's hell. But I get all, like for me, I get all the paperwork up front. I'm not going to, if I tell you to go out and look for a house, unless something is wrong with that appraisal, I'll see you at the closing table. That's unless you do something crazy like buy a car or whatever. Because for me, I remember I refinanced my house, the first house that I had, and I got to the closing table and the interest rate was completely different. And I'm like, before I even knew I was going to be in the mortgage business, I'm like, I would never do that to somebody. And so I take all of those bad experiences and flip them around and make sure that my customers have good experience. But if you give everything up front, I don't care if your credit score is 400. I'm like, okay, we can work with this. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Come back and see me in 6 months. Come back and see me in a year. And if they do it, they come back.
And you kind of give them a blueprint of what to do before they come back to you, so they be in a better position when they come back.
Yep. And not only are they going to be in a better position to buy a house, they're going to be in a better position, period. If you go to buy a car, anything. So, yeah. I've done free credit repair for 24 years. And I think too, to my detriment, it has helped and it has hurt, because the worst high is a free high.
True.
Yeah. So it's like
true.
Sometimes when you give people everything, but for me, it's just not in me to charge. But sometimes it's like people take it for granted. But I tell you exactly what you need to do. I'm like, if you do these things, if you go ahead and do what I tell you to do, your credit score is going to go up. And I've had people. I had a customer. One of my customers came to me with a 400 credit score. It was 450. Her husband's was 489. She said, we want to build a house. Ooh. And she was like, we want to build a house from the ground up. And I said, okay. She said, okay. She said, the builder laughed at us. I said, I'm not laughing. She built her house.
How long was the process?
It took her about 9 months to improve her score. Her score went from 400 to 689, and her husband's went to 700. And she built the house from the ground up.
In 9 months.
And it took 9 months to repair the credit, and then after that, she built the house from the ground up.
Oh, so you out here working magic.
I told her. I mean, I knew she didn't believe me, but I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, another question: what incentives exist in the mortgage industry that people rarely know about, or just flat out don't know about, or don't talk about?
There's first-time homebuyer programs that will give you. The only thing is their income requirements. So if you make a ton of money, they expect you to have money.
Now, what do we consider a ton of money?
I'm not gonna say a ton of money. If you're a single person, if you're a family of one, I think the max income is $60,000. If you're a family of two, I think it's like $70,000. They've raised it since I've been in the business. IDA has a down payment program. It's not for first-time home buyers. You can buy as many houses as you want. You can use the program as much as you want. You can't make over $135,000.
Oh, okay.
So
that's individually or as a family.
Yeah, that's like if it's two of you on the loan combined, but if individually, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's you can buy a 2-unit conventional with 5% down. There's what we call debt service loans that if you want to become an investor, as long as you have the 20% down payment, they don't look at your income. They just look at your credit. Then we have the VA loan. That's 100% financing. There's a lot of things out there, but FHA, 3.5% down, go down to a 580 credit score. And the one thing is you don't have to have perfect credit to buy a house. Everybody thinks, oh, I'm going to wait until my credit score is improved. And while you're waiting, the rates are going up or the price of the house is going up.
And that leads right into my next question. Is waiting for the rates to drop often the most expensive mistake that people make when it comes to buying a home?
Waiting will cost you. Because if you look back during the pandemic, if you bought a house in the pandemic, you probably have about $100,000 equity in your house. If you bought a house right now, the rate is high. One, the rate is higher, and the cost of the house is higher. As so many people, and first of all, the pandemic was a horrible time. Rates are never going to be that low again. So everybody's waiting on the bottom to fall out of the market. It's not going to happen. So just always look at it like this: if something catastrophic happens, the rates drop. Most people can't buy.
Right.
So if during the pandemic everybody was unemployed or their hours were cut, so only a select few people could buy.
Right.
So what we have right now, rates are right at about 6%, which is normal. When I started, rates were 9 and 10%, but they were as high as 20 back in the 80s, and people were still buying. Always a great time to buy. Anytime. Even when the market crashed, it was a great time to buy because houses were on clearance. Right. So people were buying a $200,000 house for $40,000. So it's always the best time to buy is when you are ready. It's not when John is ready. It's not when Susan is ready. It's when you are ready.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to clip. We clipping that.
Yeah.
I need that.
That's the best time to buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, as of right now, who do you think is, I guess, winning in today's market? Is it the buyer or the seller?
I think the buyer is really winning because sellers are paying closing costs now. They're definitely winning now because it's winter. And a lot of people are not out because it's cold looking at houses. But the rates are a little bit lower. So the buyer is winning right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, what are some mistakes that often first-time home buyers make?
A few mistakes that they make. One is not figuring out what they want their mortgage payment to be. This is
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Break that down for me.
So for me, like if you come to me and you say I make $100,000, I'm going to tell you what you can afford. You already, just like when you go in a car dealership, you should already have an idea what you want your car payment to be. A car person should never say your payment's going to be this because then you get out of your budget. But you should have a budget first. And this is my rule of thumb. If you are paying $1,500 a month for rent, and you decide you want a $2,000 mortgage payment, first you got to know what you want, right?
Right.
For the next 6 months, save $500 a month. If you cannot save $500 a month, you're not ready. And most first-time home buyers don't want to get ready till it's time to buy a house. And then it's a payment shock for them.
Right.
Because it's like, oh my God, well now I can't go shopping, or now you need to rethink all of that because you don't want to be house poor and you don't want to be in your house regretting your decision.
Right. It's so funny because I think I was just watching another podcast and the guy said that.
Yeah.
He said the same exact thing, that if you're renting now and you're looking to buy, and if your mortgage is going to be so and so above, you want to start saving that now to know if you're able to afford it once you get into it. It changes
your mindset.
Right.
Because everything's about mindset. So all you're doing is retraining your brain like, look, this money is going to be going somewhere else. And a lot of people just don't do that. Everybody thinks, and I have this all the time, people think, oh, well, when I get the house out, I won't go get my nails done or I'll stop shopping. No, you won't.
Right.
I'm not going to go on vacation. Yes, you are. You know what I mean? You can't stop living. Your kids are going to need something. Your car is going to break down. And you own a home now. You're going to need repairs. So if you have nothing to fall back on, the largest payment that you have is your mortgage payment. That's the first thing you're not going to pay.
Right. Okay. How early should someone kind of talk to a lender when they're getting prepared for that? And what are some of the things that they need to bring to the conversation when they are ready?
When you sign your lease. So say, for example, you decide this is the last lease I'm going to sign. Okay, you go to sign your lease. Your lease is a year, right? When you sign your lease, you should be getting pre-qualified. Because what that does is it gives you a whole year to prepare to buy. One, you not waiting until the last minute. You're not waiting until you only got 3 months left on your lease, because it's taking you about 60 days to find a house anyway.
Right.
And if you need credit repair, you can definitely do it in a year. If you need to save money, you can definitely start doing it in a year. So when you sign, or either when you sign or before you sign a lease and you decide that you want to own a home, you should be getting pre-approved at the same time. So I always say a year out, get your credit checked, start looking at how much money you have, start thinking about what you can afford. So that way you don't feel the pressure, because pressure will make you buy things you don't. Well, I mean, I don't really like the house, but my lease is up, so I need to move.
Right.
Now you're settling.
Yeah. Okay. So what are some red flags financially that you'll see and be like, okay, this person's not ready yet?
Overdrafts, Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna.
Wait, because you might be reading a few people that's watching right now.
When I tell you that I cannot stand Afterpay and Klarna, I
did Afterpay one time for some DJ equipment, and I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again.
It's the worst. And it's like, really, I had a customer that was doing Afterpay for her groceries.
What?
Yes, for her groceries. And I try to be honest. I mean, it's a judgment-free zone. I'm like an attorney. Right. Whatever you tell me, it stays between us. But I do try to talk to people, because a lot of times the parents have never talked to them about finances. Their friends don't have their stuff together. So I'm trying to help you get your life together.
So you're the first person that's actually. So
I start asking the hard questions, like, are you really ready to buy? Like, I'm in the business to do loans. I'm not, I don't want to turn your loan away, but I also don't want you to have foreclosure either. Like, I don't want to see you in the grocery store. Right. And be, you'd be like, I lost my house. I don't want to hear, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, like borrowing, having just if every month I see that your bank statement is like down to like $12 every month, or you have overdraft fees. Like for me and my husband, I don't do fees. Like fees is like, I'd rather you set your money on fire. Like if you think about it, you're paying $35 for overdraft fee, $35 for over limit credit card. Maxed out credit cards is another red flag, because it makes it look like you're living off your credit cards. Right. So when I see that might not necessarily disqualify you from getting a home, but I just want you to just have a heart-to-heart with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Look what Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror. Yeah, you got me wanting to look at the man in the mirror with a couple of these answers now. I mean, you have to. Listen, if you can't be honest with nobody, you can be honest with yourself. Yes. So it's like, for me, and underwriters, if I'm asking you these questions, the underwriter's going to ask the same thing. Right. Because we don't want to set you up to fail. Like nobody wants to see you fail. And a lot of people just think magically they're going to change their mind and mindset once they own a home. And it's the complete opposite. You become a millionaire in your mind before you do in your pocket. I say that all the time.
I hear it all the time. Yes. Matter of fact, I've heard you say it on your all the time on your lives.
Same thing. You got to think like a homeowner before you become a homeowner. As you're renting, you got to be like, dang, if this was my house, I would have to be repairing this furnace. How much that cost? Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. This window got a little air in. I wonder how much that window would cost, because you need that $600. Right. Or you need that $3,000 to the furnace. So that's all on you when you own a home. So no savings is another red flag. No, nothing. Once you bring your money to the closing table, you have zero.
So when you say savings, are you saying in regard like any kind of savings?
No reserves or anything. Like I count 401k as reserves, because if you need it, if you have a hardship, you can get it. But you need something. I mean, because even if your house is fine, you could buy new construction. Right. Nothing's wrong with your house. You go down the street and get a flat tire. Right. Now what? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You go, you get sick. And you just started your job and you don't have disability yet. You off for 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. You need at least a month reserves, preferably 6 months. In this economy, 6 months is hard, but I say a year. I say a year.
I watch a lot of financial podcasts and stuff like that, and I always hear that they say between 6 months to a year of a safety net. Yes. Is what you should have?
I say a year because, first of all, the stress level that it just kind of like,
Right.
if you all uptight, money
will make you tight.
Yes.
Or the lack of.
Yes, or the lack of money. It changes everything about you.
Yes.
It's a different level of stress. You're worried about money. You're worried about this. Well, if you got 12 months reserves and you go out and you get a flat tire, you're like, okay, well, I got it in the,
right.
Not that you're not going to be mad you got to spend $300 on a flat tire, but you have it.
Yeah.
So now you're not using a credit card. Mm-hmm. You're not borrowing. You're not using Afterpay.
You really don't like this Afterpay.
I don't like Afterpay.
So why don't you like Afterpay?
Because I had a customer that had 42 active Afterpay Klarna, airfare, groceries.
They don't have like a limit that you can do
no.
for that?
Unfortunately, no, because you're going to they don't talk to each other. And it's not on your credit report. So when we get your bank statements, now my team is trained. When they get the bank statement, the first thing they do is they look for it. Because I got questions.
Right.
Because first of all, let me tell you why it makes a difference. If I pre-qualify you based on what's on your credit, mm-hmm. and I qualify you for $250, and you pay $600 a month in Afterpay, you can no longer afford the mortgage for $250.
Right.
Because you got $600 being pulled to something else.
Right.
So now you no longer qualify. So you either have to pay all of those off, or you have to find a cheaper house. So which is more important? The house.
The house, definitely. Okay, so with that being said, what credit myths cause the most unnecessary stress?
Credit Karma. Credit Karma is not a real score. Hear me.
Let me delete my Credit Karma.
Public service announcement. No.
She keep attacking me on this.
Hold on. Credit Karma
is
good for inquiries, knowing if your score goes up and down, which is not always
that's all I
accurate,
use
by
it
the
for
way.
Anyway.
But it's not. It's a Vantage score. It's not
right.
a FICO score. And so people come to me. They be all in huffy because if I run let's say Credit Karma has your credit score 700. When I run, it's going to be like 650, 675.
Right.
Because it's a difference. The other thing too is people think that things don't follow them. The disputes, that if they dispute things that their credit score will go up. Mm-hmm. Actually, when you dispute things, what it does, it removes it from the credit scoring model only until the dispute is resolved.
Right.
And then it goes right back and drops your score. So people go and dispute all of these things on their credit, and they see this false credit score, and then they come to get a mortgage, and the first thing the mortgage company says is resolve the disputes.
Wait, so how does it? So the disputes aren't really resolved? Or like, how does that work?
Some of them are not resolved, but when you resolve them and they say that you still owe it, your credit score goes back down.
Right.
It's just like how you dispute on a credit card. When you dispute something on a credit card, they credit you the money back.
Right.
And then when the dispute is resolved, if you lose, you still owe that money.
Okay.
So it's the same thing. So your score inflates temporarily. Your score goes up because they took all of that out.
Okay.
And then if you owe it at the end, if you don't win the dispute, it goes back down.
But if you win the dispute, then it stays
up
where it is, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So since what about Experian?
The apps,
how accurate?
The apps are good if you pay for them.
Okay.
The score that you get on your credit card with your credit card statement, those are all Vantage scores. Experian, TransUnion, if you go actually on the website and view a score, those are accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Because I actually pay for my experience.
That's good. Then your score is accurate.
Good.
You come to me, it should
I feel
be
a little more comfortable now. Okay.
But that Credit Karma is like
pretty.
And people be so hurt. They do.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I try to tell them when they my score is this. I'm like, where'd you get it from?
Right.
I try to give them a warning. Now, if you go to buy a car, get a credit card, and they send you the score, that's accurate. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So, what's one of the most challenging loans that you've ever had to close on?
The customer with the 4G firms. It was challenging, but honestly, I handled her with such kid gloves because it was a teachable moment for her. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a teachable moment for me because I had never really had a customer with that many. And I really sat down with her and did her budget with her and, help her figure out like how she got into this and showed her how it affected her. So it came out to her advantage. She still bought the house. She had to pay them all off at closing. She still bought the house, but it was like a aha moment for her. Mm-hmm. But, I don't always say I don't. We don't ever lose. We win or we learn.
Right.
So
I like that.
yeah. So she learned. It was a learning process for, but it was a difficult. And I'm big on closing on time.
Mm-hmm.
Like my good name is all I have. So if I tell you we closed on the 30th, I'll see you on the 30th. So I'm like, we got to take a pause back. It's not about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about her. You know, her situation. I just had to figure out like how she got into it and help her get out of it. And I still to this day follow up with her.
So have you had any, like, because you say it was a teachable moment for you, have you had any other customers that you had to like use that lesson with?
I do it every time they have them.
Okay.
Every time I see a firm or Afterpay or those things, I have a conversation with them because everything is mindset. And why did you have to have it right now? That's the question you really need to ask yourself. Like what?
That's
Why
somebody else I want to ask this question too, but go ahead.
Why could you not wait for it? Like the groceries. Did you have the money and just wanted to? Your groceries is the most important. Eating is the most important thing. Did
Right.
you put off your groceries for something else that wasn't even worth it?
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? You really have to dig down into the heart of the matter as to money tells you a lot about how you feel about yourself. How you handle and manage your money says a lot about how you feel about yourself. If you don't feel value, you don't value money.
That's,
It's the truth.
that is a gem.
I can think about times.
Cut that one too.
I can think about times
we
in my
clip that.
seriously. I can think about times in my life that I struggled with finances. I didn't value who I was. Yep.
That's interesting. I'm gonna hold on to that. So what advice would you give someone who feels permanently like priced out of home ownership?
A lot of people feel like that right now,
Right.
because housing is becoming less and less affordable as the prices go up. Partner with somebody. That's one thing as a community we don't do is we don't come together. So you can't afford a house by yourself. Buy a multi-unit with your family. If you can't afford a house by yourself, partner with somebody else. Go in with someone else. But a lot of times it's like, well, I want my own house. I don't want to live with them.
And that's the biggest
That is.
struggle. Is
You gotta
everybody
start
wants
somewhere.
Their own. Everybody wants, and I agree because I see. Well, I want to say other communities.
Yes.
They'll
Working
live,
together.
They will live. It'll be 3 families
Yes.
in the house, and I've seen it. Like I know people personally who's told me they have a formula.
They do.
That they work.
They
like
do.
they come here with a plan
Yes.
to say, hey, it's going to be this family, for this family. We're going to live in this house. We're going to get it together. And then once we all put money up, we're going to go buy this house. Now this family gets to move out of their house while these other 2 families, they still get to stay here.
Yeah.
But this family, now we do it again with another family.
That's the blueprint.
Then they go get the family. And I was like,
and guess what? Everybody wins.
everybody.
Because the thing is, there's no big I's and no little U's. It's like everybody wins, and they put aside their selfish, what they want right now. And see, for us as a community, we're competing with each other.
Every
We don't
single time.
collaborate.
Every single
So
time.
as they work together, they're building. We're tearing down.
Yep.
Every time. So if you can't afford to live by yourself right now, if you can't afford a house, partner with somebody. Okay, you might have to live with somebody for a year. Now that house is making money for you. You rent it out and y'all you buy something separate, or you buy a 4-unit and y'all live in 2 and rent out the other 2, and those 2 units pay for the rent. Problem
blueprint.
solved.
The
You're gonna
blueprint.
spend the money anyway.
Right.
You renting. You see what I'm saying? You spend it anyway.
Right.
But you can't. It's a mindset thing. But in our defense, we've been brainwashed in slavery to work against each other. So now we're just working backwards, trying to reverse all the things that we've been told. That's one thing my grandmother's always taught me, is that you always working against what's in the back of your mind. You got to bring the good things to the forefront. So we just have to start thinking different. Yes, okay, that housing is expensive. You might be priced out. Okay, but how can we work this? Let's figure out another way.
Right. And that's one thing that we always have to figure out, that there's always a way.
It's always
somehow,
a way.
some way. And it's funny because I didn't always have that mentality. My wife actually had to teach me that.
Yep.
It's
gonna always work out.
She had to teach me that there's always a way.
Yep.
What is one thing that every listener should understand before applying for a loan or a mortgage?
Before you apply for a mortgage, is just do it. That's the one thing. It's like, don't put it off. Don't say you're going to wait till you're ready. Don't say you're going to wait till your credit's together. Just apply. Because a lot of times you think you're in a worse situation than you are. And some people think they're better off than they are. You got to start somewhere. And start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. So it's, a lot of times I see, well, that house ain't, I don't want that house. I need something that's, $500,000. But you don't want the $500,000 payment.
Right.
What I'm saying? You know what I say? Okay, the $500,000 payment is $4,000. I don't want that. Right. So start somewhere. Just do it. Just like Nike says, just do it.
Right.
And you know what? Be open to be corrected. Be open to be educated. And I believe that an educated consumer is our greatest asset. So I'm going to educate you along the way, because what I want you to do is I want you to go tell somebody else. Right. Because if I give you some good information, the next time somebody comes to you, if you buy a house and you hear somebody at work buying a house, you're going to share that good information with them. But if you got bad information,
now you're sharing the bad information with them, which again, then
wipe away everything that you've ever heard, because your situation is different. No two loans are the same. I don't care who they are. They can be twins. They don't have the same credit. They don't have the same income. No two loans are the same. So that person next to you is not going to have the same situation as you. So just because their loan process went this way doesn't mean yours can go that way. Just do it. Stop sitting on the sidelines of your life and get in the game. Just do it. That's my advice to everybody that's like, well, I don't know if I should buy. I don't know if my credit is good. You don't know till you try.
And on that note, like she said, y'all, just do it. Thank you for coming. I really did appreciate this. This was an amazing conversation. I definitely learned some things myself. Please tell the people where they can reach out to you, where they can get in touch with you on social medias or anything like that.
I'm on social media as Tammy Moore. On Facebook, on Instagram is Tammy P. Moore, and my website is tammypmoore.com. And if you want to apply, it's diamonddivas.team.com. And I'm open. You can message me. You can call me. My office number is 847-672-9662, and my cell is 847-208-8926. And yes, I answer my phone. I do. I take it. I don't take it lightly. And I'm open to helping anybody that wants to be helped.
Y'all heard that. Thank you so much, Tammy. I really do appreciate it. This is another episode of the Black Carpet Podcast, where we take ordinary people doing extraordinary things and introduce them to the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
I ain't had time, I got time now. Yeah, I'm about to shine and design now. Going coast to coast when we dine out. Put the coach on the map when we flying out. Know I gotta win when we ride out. And I ain't gotta spin when I buy now. Love, power, respect is on our mind now. If I don't tell you when, I mean right now. I ain't allergic to it. King flow through my blood when you heard the music. Yeah,